Hello, everyone. My name is Lee. I am the co-creator of Juicy Life School of Inherent Wisdom. Thank you so very much for spending a few minutes with me today. A friend of mine came to me to help sort out a situation that she was experiencing in her life. A co-worker in an organization that she is very much involved in had come to her and asked her to help on a specific project. Now, my friend knew how to do it and she had the time. So she said, yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to help you. And within a few days of doing this, she started feeling some discomfort around the person that had asked her to come in and help. And when she asked the person what was really going on, the person accused her of overstepping and trying to take over the project. And so my friend was, she was upset. And yeah, who wouldn't be, right? So I listened to her story for a while, the story of this other person, and my friend kept justifying what she was doing. And when we hear ourselves justifying an action or words or anything, that's a pretty big red flag that says, wait a minute, is this authentic? Is this real? What am I really doing? So that's where we went. I asked her the hard question, which was, well, are you trying to take over? Did you stay in the boundaries? And I asked her not to reply immediately, but to think about it, to meditate on it, to get real and clear and honest with herself, because that place of honesty, that place of authenticity, that's your heart. So if she had been doing those things, it would have been okay to say, yeah, I can see where that other person would feel that way because, yeah, I knew what I was doing and she didn't, and I just wanted to finish or whatever. But that wasn't the case here. So my friend decided that it was too much and she had other things to do. So she had decided to resign from the committee and withdraw her help. And when she first said that, I asked her if that was her real desire or was that a movement from reactivity? And she sat with that until she could really clear it and say, yeah, that's the best thing for me to do right now at this time in my life. Beautiful. So she wrote the resignation letter and she let it sit for a little while, which is always a good idea. And you go back and you read it and you make sure you're being really clear and that you're speaking from your heart. This is so important that we learn to speak from our heart, speak the truth. Years and years ago when Ram Dass was still in his physical body and used to travel around the United States, I got to sit with him in Boulder, Colorado. And one of the many beautiful stories that he told that weekend was about his teacher calling him up to the front of the room and saying, Ram Dass, I want you to go and always tell the truth and to love everybody. And a couple of days later, Ram Dass sat down with his teacher and said, you know what? The truth is I don't love everybody. So the teacher instructed him to go to the back of the room, take the bowl of apples and a knife, and to sit with each of the other students in the room and feed them a slice of apple. And the teacher cautioned him, saying, if you feed anyone from any place other than a loving heart, you're feeding them poison. So if you're in reactivity, something happens like in this situation, and you want to defend yourself because you don't want people to say things that aren't true. And I have to remind you and me and everyone that we don't get to choose what other people say and do. We do get to choose how we feel about that and how we process that information. In this case, I asked my friend to just note if there was any grain of truth to the accusation. And if there was, then to make amends maybe or deal with that. But if not, then the question becomes, why are you upset if it's not true? And of course, the why is that we all want to be liked. We want to be loved. We want to be okay. We want to be enough. And once we get through that process and understand that we are enough. We don't need each other to approve of us to be okay. That's a big one. That's a big hurdle for most of us, I think. Anyhow, the end result was that she did sit with it. And when she finally pressed the send button, she was elated and she felt free and like she had done something that was really caring for herself. And that ultimately is so important. If we don't take care of ourselves, we cannot take care of others. If we don't love ourselves totally, unconditionally, we cannot love others. It's like trying to get water from a dry well. So there you go. That's my little spiel today. I really appreciate your time. I love all of you so very much. I am deeply honored that you've taken the time to listen to this. And I hope we see you on a Sunday morning sometime. Okay, thank you. Namaste, big love.